The Jean Grey School for Higher Learning starts its second term in Wolverine and the X-Men number 19.
Vertigo get in the Halloween mood with their one-shot Ghosts, which does not feature a short story by Neil Gaiman.
And Morrison's R-rated Roger Rabbit, all coming up. So, Wolverine and the X-Men is a book that I've been enjoying for a long time.
You have?
It's been so much fun for me, and now we get Wolverine and the X-Men number 19, which is a good jumping on point. What's great about it being set in a school is it's kind of done by this, the first year, second year kind of thing. It's a new term.
Mm-hmm.
We introduce some new characters. Basically, this follows a couple of different people. Kitty Pryde's looking for a new teacher. Wolverine is on the hunt for Bruise Killer, who is the student brood that was there, and it also follows Beast and some other people. It follows a lot of people, and I just think it is so much fun. I made you read it this week.
You did,
Forced
yes.
you to read it, because I just feel like it's a crying shame that you're not reading this. It's Jason Aaron. He's signed on for another year. What did you think of Wolverine and the X-Men number 19?
I thoroughly enjoyed Wolverine and the X-Men number 19. I did pick up the first couple of issues.
I seem to remember something like that.
Yeah,
One
I
and
picked
two.
up the first couple, and I just found the art style really a bit too chaotic for my liking, and the book came at a really bad time for me when I was going through a major cut, and that happened to be one of the books that hit the cut, and in a way, I'm kind of happy it did, because it means I didn't have to go through the whole Avengers vs. X-Men stuff.
Well,
You wouldn't know it happened in this. You wouldn't know there was any Avengers vs. X-Men.
No, but this was one of the better Avengers vs. X-Men times, because they didn't really... It was still its own thing. It was basically, that's going on over there, and Kitty Pryde is just trying to, get her students in class, get their grades up, kind of thing. Which is
and
nice.
I mean, what's great about this book is obviously it starts with what's previously happened in the book, and then we really get a sense of, if you've just picked up the book, you really get a sense of tone of the book. So you get this serious stuff with Bruise Killer and the off-world stuff, and then the very comedic bits with Angel and Matt Murdock, and then, of course, Kitty Pryde trying to find a new teacher, and the highlight of that whole bit, of course, being Deadpool. Makes me really.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil anything.
That was very good. But this actually gets me really excited for a Deadpool book. But
are you gonna buy it? I really think this is a book that you should be buying.
I think I might buy it. It's the best Wolverine artwork that I'm buying, and I did just buy Wolverine Max, and I just didn't find the artwork inside very good. But I love all the artwork in it. The story's great. I'm a big Jason Aaron fan.
Big Jason Aaron. You hit the nail on your head when you talk about the tone, because it's that kind of. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's so much fun to be with these characters, to be in the school.
Nazis.
You really get a sense of the small community, like that kind of thing. All these crazy things go on in comics. It's nice to get a sense of community, characters. And I just find this book so much fun. It's a pleasure to read and to look at.
Also, this is a big problem with the numbering system, because 19, it's a great jumping on point, but when you're new to comics or you're trying to pick up a new book, you're not going to get this. You're going to get A+X that came out, and I think we can both agree it wasn't as good as this.
It wasn't. It just kind of...
I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was...
The funny thing is, it attempted to be that. It was going after that light-hearted tone, and it just ended up being trivial.
The stuff with the Hulk and Wolverine and Cake, it was like, come on, that's not these characters. Stuff with Cable I thought was brilliant. I loved the way he just jumps through this time portal, but that's sidetracked.
For me, it was just kind of trivial. The thing about this, it's fun, but you have characters that you like and that you care about that kind of keeps the plot, keeps you coming back each week.
But Wolverine and the X-Men is definitely the better of the two books.
Yeah, if you're not buying it, it's a great jumping on point. You should definitely pick it up.
Now, we have our first Vertigo title on the show, and it is the short collection of stories. It's a one-shot called Ghosts. It's kind of like their Halloween thing. 9 short stories, all connected with some affiliation to ghosts. $7.99 price tag, which
you were a bit of a sucker.
I feel as though I was, but at the same time, I'm really happy with what I got as a result of that. There's some really good stories in here. There's some not so good ones. Very funny ones, such as the Ghost Pepper Chili.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic story. The Joe Kubert one, this is the last story he ever did. He didn't finish it. It's only the rough sketches and the script. And it's really quite sad to read it. It's got this really
especially
weird...
the subject
Yeah.
matter. If you don't know who Joe Kubert is, legendary comic book artist, passed away not so long ago.
August, I think it was. And this was the very last story he wrote, and it's very good. Now, my biggest problem with this book is, obviously you've got the Joe Kubert thing in here. You've got Jeff Johns and Jeff Lemire working on one of the comics, which I thought was really good. Loads of big names. They put on the front Neil Gaiman's Dead Boy Detectives. That's why I bought this book. So it's, if anything, it's kind of my own fault. He has nothing to do with this book. And I should have read it properly, because it's Neil Gaiman's Dead Boy Detectives by Buckingham and Santos.
Yeah, but it's a different colour print. It's a little bit smaller. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I thought that was a bit of a shifty move. But I enjoyed this book.
Yeah, and also Dead Boy Detectives, it's like 2 pages. But, I mean, it's interesting. I didn't know much about.
But that's one that's going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a launch pad. It's like when you get on Free Comic Book Day. When that comes around, you get the kind of taster, and it's going to continue.
Yeah.
I had an okay time with this. There was some nice stories. It was nice seeing Joe Kubert. I haven't read anything by him for a while. The Dead Boy Detectives does look interesting. I didn't know anything about it, and it kind of does look like an interesting story. Yeah, you're right. The Chili one was kind of funny. My favourite one was, it was called, let me just find it, The Dark Lady.
Dark Lady was really
very different. It's very simplistic art style. I feel like we need more of that in comics. You were saying before, one of your criticisms of Wolverine and the X-Men originally was this kind of chaotic artwork. I never found that, but I get the criticism in general. It's all very flashy, kind of over-inked, over-coloured, this kind of bombardment. There's a sort of the eyes, whereas this is such a throwback. So simple. We need more of this. We need more.
It's like a newspaper
kind of
comic book strip. Almost.
Yeah, and you get
the
tone really it charms you right away. It's very important with comics. Like you either get this sense of, oh, this is just something I've seen 100 times before, but when there's really something different that grabs your eye, it's nice. This wasn't worth $7.99.
It wasn't. If you're going to do a book like this and you're going to charge that much for it, put it in trade paperback form, sell it properly, add a couple more stories in there. Don't do that. What did you think of going on from the other week where you said Jeff Johns is a bad writer? What did you think of his book in here? The one about the brothers and one of them's the ghost.
All right.
Continuing with your Jeff Johns, not very good writer. I mean, Jeff Lemire's an amazing artist.
Yeah, he's great. He's really great, and no, it's not worth the money. And all of these stories are probably going to be available for free on some sort of digital comic store within the next couple of months. Hey, do you know what my biggest criticism about this show is?
What your biggest criticism?
Well, we don't have enough time to talk about all of the books, which is why.
Oh, segue! Didn't see that coming.
Which is why I have recently started a blog, right?
Yeah.
As an accompaniment to the show, where I give summaries, my opinions on all of the books that come out this week that I read. And
What is this?
I'm excited about it. It's downoncomics.tumblr.com. You'll find the link in the description. And go have a read. Whatever you didn't buy last week, I might recommend, and you can go and pick up this week.
He might do that. I mean, I don't know what he picked up last week. I picked up Swamp Thing as well. Picked up the annual. He's not going to be reviewing that because he didn't pick it up. Anyway, I'm going to stop doing that and move on with the last book, which is Grant Morrison's Happy. We are continuing the story of the detective who can see a small blue horse. Unicorn, pony.
A Roger Rabbit type thing. It's this dark noir crime story with a cartoon twist.
He's trying to avoid the mob. The rabbit's trying to find a little girl, and hilarity ensues.
Well, I wouldn't say hilarity.
I think I'm going to go first.
Murder.
On this one.
Go on, take it away.
This is a 4-issue series.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
I
length.
feel as
Good
though
solid length.
I love me a mini series of 4 issues. I love it, but not a lot of information in this book. I thought not a lot of. I feel as though the story hasn't moved that much further from where we left it last time, which is starting to make me feel worried that the ending's going to be rushed. Artwork in this book, I love it. Really unique paneling. What's that? Layout, really unique layout, very interesting. The artwork is great, very dark colours, and then obviously you've got the horse who's...
It looks great.
Bright blue, really like that, love the covers. Covers are brilliant. And yeah, I enjoyed this book. It needs to move a bit faster for the length that it is, because I'm really worried that we're going to get a rushed ending, which isn't like Morrison.
No.
In my experience of him. What did you think of
I liked it a lot. I think I see where you're coming from, but I think this book benefited from the fact that it wasn't trying to go a lot of places. There was some like things happen in here where you were like, oh my god, I would totally do that. Like there's a poker game that happens and it's fantastic. It's
that seems
great. And there were lots of scenes like that. There were lots of kind of bits here and there. We get the character development of this guy in the sense that he's taken the advantages of this situation and he's not given anything back. And I feel like it's kind of going to be a Scrooge story where he gets his comeuppance. And it's just very different from anything else I'm reading. And that's what I expect from Morrison. That's what I want from Morrison. It's very funny. Again, talking about charm, it's got a lot of charm. It's got its own visual style. It's great.
It's unique. It's something different on the shelves, and I mean, it's something that if I was looking at the shelves, especially with the covers, it's something I'd immediately pick up because the covers are fantastic, really simple, but they tell you a lot about what you can expect in the book. So I think it's definitely another win for Image. 3 weeks in a row.
Great stuff. Hey, on Wednesday, we are going to be trying something new. And we're gonna...
could go well, could go horribly.
Morris dancing. No, we're gonna be trying something new. We're gonna find out who the greatest superhero of all time is.
How are we gonna do that?
We'll find out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
What are we doing on Friday?
On Friday, we are doing a review of the month of October. So we're gonna be looking at some of our favourite books, some of our favourite bits inside the books.
Yeah.
And everything to do with them.
In case anything passed you by, we are here to help.
Yes, we are.
So we'll see you then.